Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. And on this channel lately we've been talking a whole lot about, you guessed it, fragrances. And on today's video I have a very season appropriate topic because I've been meaning to do this for a while, and today's the day. Today I want to show you guys 8 perfumes that smell like summer. And what do I mean by summer? I don't just mean fresh, refreshing, citrusy, you know, something that will cool you off, something that is not cloying. No, I mean they smell like summer. In other words, Hawaiian tropic suntan lotion. Now, I know that that word, smells like suntan lotion, that phrase has a negative connotation. A lot of people will reject a perfume or give a perfume a bad review because it smells like suntan lotion, right? Suntan lotion-y, because it's got coconut or ylang or something in it that just reminds them of being out on the beach, being out in the pool and spraying that stuff on. But to me, that's not a bad thing. That's not a negative connotation. There is a genre of perfume that smells this way for a reason, right? And the ones that I'm gonna list today, they don't smell exactly like a suntan lotion where it's gonna be worthy of a negative review where you say this just smells like I'm putting Hawaiian Tropic on. But they do give you that vibe, that feel. They have a closeness. They're in that same area, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna start with one that is actually one of the first perfumes that I ever got. And before I even start talking about this perfume, I have to preface this by saying that I don't know if it's worthy of an entire video. It might be a boring video, but someone had mentioned something about maceration, how it's the wrong word. I get that it's the wrong word, but that's what people are saying because they don't have any other way of probably like making it understood what they're talking about. But there is such a thing as bottle shock because I've experienced it. So I'm not a seasoned, experienced, perfume connoisseur. I'm an enthusiast and I enjoy collecting, and I've gone learning things along the way, and I've experienced things firsthand. And bottle shock is a real thing because this first bottle that I'm gonna show you, when it first arrived, smelled like nothing. I could barely smell anything. My nose could not pick up anything but a faint whisper of a scent. If you go back to that first video that I made where I talked about this perfume, that's what I was getting. It was like a whisper of a scent. Now that I'm halfway through the bottle, I have sprayed it, I have tried to use it, and on occasions that I've used it, I'm like, I don't smell it. And I wasn't going nose blind. It was just really not working the way it was supposed to. So when you spray a bottle a lot, some of the air from the environment gets sucked into the bottle through the atomizer, and it begins to oxidize. It starts to get oxygen, and the oxygen binds to the molecules of the perfume, and it just does something that brings it to life. We're not gonna go through a whole chemistry lesson in today's video, but essentially that's what people mean when they say macerate, right? Like spray it and give it time. Also, it may not be that they come this way, it may be that they become this way in the transit process through the heat, the cold, the shifting, the moving, things like that. So without further ado, let's just get right into the first perfume. This one I got on Amazon, believe it or not. It's called Aziza by Luniche, and you may have heard me talk about this one before. Look at where my dent is. I don't know if you can see it right there, halfway through the bottle, okay? It's got this beautiful ombre effect. I don't get the rose on top because there's no rose in this, but this is not even listed on Fragrantica. So I just found it on another website. It's called Maple Prime, but I got this on Amazon for about the same price. This goes for about $30, $32 or so. So the top notes are fruity accord, coconut, peach nectar. Middle notes are floral accords, tiare blossoms, and then the base notes are sandalwood, heliotrope blossoms. I don't know how accurate this is, but it says the occasion is beach parties, summer, spring, daytime wear, and the scent is considered a fruity floral. That's exactly what this is. Now, when I had Nuha, which is one that I sold for the reason that I explained that this one had, that it was just too light. I wasn't smelling much there. It felt like it was a plasticky toy, kitty perfume. It didn't smell like a real perfume. Maybe had I given it time, it would have been nicer, but I kind of had like this thing where I hated the bottle. Anyway, I think these two would have smelled very similar because this now is a little bit more present. It's not a strong perfume by any means. In fact, I don't think any of these are gonna be particularly strong, but they definitely fit that beachy vibe. This has coconut, it has peach, it has tiare, it has sandalwood. It's got everything to smell beachy, and it is very affordable. The only thing that makes me hesitant to recommend it is how long it took and how much spraying. Maybe I oversprayed continuing to try. Maybe had I just been more patient, waited a little longer, I wouldn't have wasted so much of the product just to get it to smell this way. But I had this in the closet of shame for such a long time. It's still considered pretty light, so this wouldn't be my top recommendation. So I'm gonna go in order of what I think is maybe like least best to best. So yeah, I think I could do that. And then we're just gonna wing it. We're gonna take it from there. But this one, definitely beach, summer. It's got that coconut. It's very suntan lotion-y in a really, really nice way. So let me get a sip of my water because my throat, sorry. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the next one. Oh, I almost forgot. Today's, never mind my little breakout here, but today's lip color is one that I got on Amazon as well. And everything that I say I got on Amazon, I'm gonna link it below. And yes, I do get a small commission for those things, but it's not huge, it's just small if you use my link. This is not as good as the one that I talked about in the last video, the e.l.f. one, because this is a different brand. I think it's called Sokgo, and I don't see a color here. Lip Glow Oil Color Reviver Cherry Oil. So this one, I don't love it as much as the e.l.f. one, because this one is a little bit sticky. It is smooth, but it's more sticky. But in its defense, it does have a little bit more of a long-lasting effect on the sheen and the brightness, like the shine that it gives. So it's not bad, but I still would prefer the e.l.f. But anyway, moving on. The next perfume is one of the first perfumes that I ever got as well. And I've reviewed it before on this channel in one of my super earlier videos, but I had to bring it out for this particular topic. And that is Minya by Paris Corner. So Minya is the first thing that I think of when I smell this perfume is Di Saronno, which is like that almond liqueur, and it just reminds me of biscotti cookies. It gives me this almond scent. Even though this has pistachio, I don't get pistachio. Pistachio is a little bit more on the salty side, but the top notes are almond and pistachio, middle notes are heliotrope and jasmine, and the base notes are vanilla, caramel, salted caramel, sorry, and sandalwood. So I haven't worn this one in a while, but I did. The first time I wore this one all day was at a beach event. And this one just gives me it's like a beach summer gourmand. Like you can wear this outside in the beachy day and you will not feel nauseated by it because it's got that beachy vibe, even though there's no coconut, no pineapple, no tiare, none of that stuff that makes it feel beachy. It still gives me a beachy vibe. There's a freshness that is hard to say where it's coming from because there's no citrus in here. There's just heliotrope and jasmine. Everything else is very decadent, right? Almond, pistachio, vanilla, salted caramel. Maybe it's the sandalwood. But this is delicious. Now, I will warn you, this is one of the first perfumes I ever bought. Will I buy this again when I run out? Probably not. It's a little bit plasticky, little bit juvenile, like toy perfume-ish, but like a doll head kind of thing, but it's not terrible. So for an easy reach on a summery beach day, this is easy. I don't hate it. I don't feel like I should get rid of it, but I don't reach for it that much. And I just figured, you know, I have to be honest with you guys and let you know. Even though I feel like the bottle's really beautiful and spectacular and the scent is not bad, it's really nice. It's just everything I just said. So moving on to the next one. This is another one that has a similar vibe to the one that I just talked about. So I feel like having the two of these, Minya and this one, is a little bit, just a little bit redundant. So if you were gonna get one of the two, let's see if I can like describe the differences clearly enough to help you make that decision, would be, this is Shaghaf Oud Tonka by Swiss Arabian. I don't have any other except for the regular Shaghaf Oud, the gold bottle, which I gave it away. It was just a little too masculine smelling for me. But this one is more like beachy tropical. Now the top notes are almond, middle notes are Tunisian orange blossom, cinnamon, and Turkish rose. I get no rose in here, but okay, it's probably just that well blended, right? And the base notes are tonka bean, vanilla, and amberwood. Now, this one, again, no coconut, no tiare flower, no, what's the Hawaiian tropic vibe then? It's a little bit on the heavier side, I'm not gonna lie, and I believe it's the amberwood. A theory from Lattafa, which is similar to Gucci Flora Gorgeous Orchid, has amberwood, so it's got that Middle Eastern weight to it, whereas this one's a little bit fresher and lighter. So I would say that this is more like if you're on the beach and you're gonna have an evening on the beach, like a nighttime, maybe a dinner on the beach, or like in the little town that is within the beaches area, right? Like you're on a beach vacation, evening, daytime. But this still gives me a summer vibe, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just how my head perceives almond with vanilla and tonka. It's got a sweetness that gives me a tropically vibe to it. And I like this one. If I had to pick, it's hard. I can't. If I had to pick one of the two, I can't, because this one's a little heavier, more evening, and this one's a little more fresh daytime, but they're kind of like if they were the same perfume, but one for the day and one for the night. I don't know. I guess it's the almond in it that makes it so similar. But this gives me summer. Sorry, it just does. So the next one I talked about also before on this channel, this is Coconut Lagoon by Paris Corner. Now, this is a little bit of a different take. Not so much suntan lotion-y. It's not very creamy per se. It definitely has coconut, but it's more like a fresh, like the color of the juice and the color of the bottle kind of gives you a vibe of what the scent is like. I'm not getting white, thick cream. I'm getting like, if you were to have a coconut mojito, that's like a pina colada, but it's not rich and thick and creamy and dairy-like. It's more like a juicy vibe. This is more refreshing, but because of that coconut, I still get like a suntanny lotion sort of experience from it. It's way more refreshing though. So the top notes are lemon, mandarin, and apple. Middle notes are watermelon and caramel. Base notes are coconut and vanilla. So I guess it's because of the coconut and then all those extra fruits. I get that tropically vibe, but I get it a little bit more refreshing. And it doesn't smell like suntan lotion. Now, I'm surprised this doesn't have any lime or lemon in it. Well, it does have lemon, I'm sorry. It has lemon and mandarin and apple, okay. So this lemon, mandarin, apple combo for me smells like lime, right? Lime and coconut, that's what I'm getting. You know how mojito is made with like lime and mint leaves and simple syrup and all that stuff? If you were to have a lime mojito, but with coconut, that's what this would smell like. This is what it would taste like. This is what it would smell like. And that just screams tropical vacation to me. It just does. So moving on to the next one. I initially wasn't going to include this one in this video because I wasn't so sure if it was what I'm thinking. Like, does it give me any sort of like summer vibe? But then I said, you know what? Yeah, it kind of does. It kind of does. I've never talked about this one on this channel before. This is a new one that I'm talking about for the very first time. So consider this not just me fitting it into the genre, but also reviewing it for the first time. And that also goes for two other perfumes of the 3 more that are left after this one. This is Rabanne Olympea. And the reason why I wanted to include this one is because this is known as a salty vanilla. And the whole Olympea marketing vibe that he had going on was similar to like, you know, the Greek Olympics, like from the ancient times, with the laurel leaves that are like on their head, and like, and the togas. And it just gave me a vibe of what a sporty, summery sort of feeling is supposed to be. Like you're in the hot sun and you're sweating, but it's got that sweetness. And this is so unique. Like when I first got this, I wasn't sure if I was gonna love it or hate it. And I was kind of like in between. I was like, I don't hate it, but I was like, do I love it, or is it just kind of like, eh? And I still wonder about that. There's a saltiness here for sure. Think of like salted caramel, you know, candies or salted caramel. Those things have a sweetness, but it's got that salt that's very present. This is a salty vanilla, and it's so interesting to me. And let's see, top notes are water jasmine, green mandarin, ginger flower. Middle notes are vanilla and salt. Base notes are cashmere wood, ambergris, and sandalwood. So I wasn't sure if I was going to include it because this does not give me suntan lotion vibes at all, but I smell this and I just think of like tanned skin that's a little sweaty, that has a little bit of crusty, dried up, salty ocean water on it, and like a little bit of that coconut suntan lotion that's starting to dry and just smells kind of sweet, like vanilla-ish, even though it's coconut, but it's got that sweetness. So you got like that burnt, crispy, salty sweat mixed with seawater combined with that sweetness. That's what this gives me, and to me that screams beach day. So I figured I would include it in this video. Now, as a perfume overall, I'm still getting to know this one. I got this on Joma Shop. I don't think I paid that much money for it. This is a 1 ounce, or is it a one? I don't even know. I can't see it. Maybe a 1 point something. I like it. There was a time in which this had been sitting for a little while. I've worn it a few times, as you can see from the dent there. And there was a day where I was like, man, I'm kind of craving it. I'm craving it, you know? It's just it's a vanilla that isn't like your typical gourmand. It isn't your typical fruity floral, like salt and vanilla. It's just unique. And I do like it. Unlike my experience with Baccarat Rouge and all of its all of its dupes, where it's a unique scent profile, but I don't like it. This one I do. But I wouldn't say that this is a safe blind buy, because I feel like it's one of those acquired taste kind of scents. So I would recommend trying to sample it first before you invest in buying it. I blind bought this in my going crazy phase, and I'm glad that I do like it, because it would suck to have something that was this pricey. I mean, this wasn't expensive, but for compared to like a Middle Eastern, this was a little bit up there, right? It wasn't over $100, but it was, I can get a good Middle Eastern perfume for a little less than I got this at 3.4 ounce, and this is smaller, so that you understand. I'm glad that I like it. So I'm just letting you know, risky blind buy if you do attempt to blind buy this, because I don't know if everyone will love it, but I love it. So moving on to the next one. I have never talked about this one either. I'm actually excited to talk about these next ones. One of them I have talked about before, but let's save the last two that I'm excited for the very end, okay? The next one, it's nothing too exciting because I've talked about it before. You guys are gonna be like, oh, you're bringing this one up again. It's Alien Goddess. How can I not bring up Alien Goddess for a suntan lotion, coconutty, summery vibe perfume video? Like, of course this is why I fell in love with it. This is, like I said, guys, the whole smells like suntan lotion is supposed to be kind of like an insult or like a bad review sort of terminology. And for me, it's not a bad thing because I enjoy that scent. I like it. There's a time and place. There's a season for it. Would you wear this during the holidays and Christmas time? No, probably not. But for summertime, this is awesome. Now, my grief with this scent, with this particular perfume, is the longevity and the projection. It's weak, so that's why I wouldn't buy it again. It's right to about here right now. That's how much I've used of it. But I've only worn it maybe once or twice. So that dent is just for those times that I've worn it because I've had to spray it so much. Top notes are coconut water and bergamot. Middle notes are jasmine and heliotrope. Base notes are bourbon, vanilla, and cashmerian. So it's a very light perfume, but it's got that summer vibe because of that coconut water, and it's got that bergamot, which is a citrus, which brings some freshness to the coconut, and then you got that bourbon vanilla, which brings a warmth and a heaviness to it. Heliotrope sometimes has a little bit of an almond kind of like feel, like when you smell heliotrope, it can remind you a little bit of almond, I think. But and then you got that alien DNA of that jasmine, but it's very, very, very far removed from the whole alien vibe. So this is another one that if I had to buy it again, like if I ran out, I probably wouldn't, only because the longevity and the performance is not that great, and I have some others here that are more suited for summer. So let's move on to those perfumes. This one, by the way, I just talked about it, Coconut Lagoon. I would buy it again if it runs out, and I don't need to because I actually have a backup bottle of this one. I like this one that much. I don't know if you noticed the dent in it, okay? I like this one that much. So let's see. The next one, the next two, the last and final two for today's video, I have never talked about on this channel. So they are considered first time reviews. And I've not had much experience wearing them out. I'm not going to lie to you. I've only worn them at home, testing them out. But so far from what I've experienced, this is why I can't really speak on like longevity or projection, but the scent overall, these are gorgeous. They're not cheap though. This is not a cheap perfume. The next two are not cheap. So let's go right into the very first one. I'm just getting the notes set up. This is called Bronze Goddess. I don't know if you can see that there. By Estée Lauder. This is just the original Bronze Goddess Eau de Parfum. There is a bunch of like different variations and flankers of this one. Never tried those, but this one had me very curious because I really wanted more of those summery beachy perfumes. The top note for this one is coconut. That's it. There's like nothing else in there. Middle notes are tiare flower. That's it. And then the base is vanilla, amber, and sandalwood. So this is classy, expensive, designer, money, beach day. This is a woman, not a girl, a woman who is enjoying her private cabana poolside with her chandelier earrings and her glamorous one-piece bodysuit that like wraps around and maybe has a little cutout in the belly, with a beautiful sarong that maybe has like, you know, some glitter or something on it. I don't know what to tell you. She has a big, beautiful, glamorous sun hat, some sort of sandals that have a pretty little rhinestone on top, red nail polish on her hands and feet, and even on her lips, maybe red lipstick, right? A private yacht, private beach. This smells, it's nothing complicated. It's nothing crazy or groundbreaking. It's just this simple elegance, and I love it. I love it. You smell the coconut and the flower and the vanilla, and it's got this, that's it. There's nothing nutsy crazy about it, but it does remind me of summer. And this is just, I'm afraid to use it. I gotta use it. What is this, a 1.7 fluid ounce? I don't remember what I paid for it. I think I got this on, where did I get this from? eBay, somebody on eBay. Maybe like 60 or 70 bucks. These are not cheap. For a 1.7, $60, $70. Yeah, I think I spent that much. But I love it. Oh my God. I have a feeling it's not going to be a long-lasting performer. I could be wrong about that, but I'm gonna have to come back and update and maybe do another review on this one later when I've had a chance to wear it. But the smell, oh my God. Again, simple. It's simple. It's nothing groundbreaking, but there's something about it that to me is just like, intoxicating. So finally, we're gonna go to the very last beachy suntan lotion, reminding me of suntan lotion-ish perfume for this video, since we're like in the middle of summer. Basically, this video is long overdue. This is a Guerlain perfume. Guerlain. It's called Terracotta Le Perfume. First of all, I can't get enough of this freaking bottle. This bottle, look at, like, if you see the back, do you see how it's like, it's a little concave in there? It's got like this beautiful, the top is just like this gorgeous, it's just, what? This is so, like, this is beautiful, okay? Now, the smell. This has a little bit, like almost all Guerlain perfumes, has a little bit of an old world vibe as well. Something a little bit vintage. And I think it's the yellow floral. For me, in my brain, yellow floral translates to like old lady perfume, always. But I don't look at it this way. And I think it's because it smells a little bit indolic. It's that smell of like when flowers can smell a little bit like fertilizer, just a tiny bit. So keep that in mind. This is the only thing that would make me say that it's not a safe blind buy. Some people might say that this smells mature or dated. So yes, but to me, nowadays, the mature scent profile doesn't remind me of an elderly person, and not that I think I associate myself with being an elderly person. I'm 42, but it just reminds me of elegance. It reminds me of class, the opposite of being juvenile. And that's what this is. Like, if Estée Lauder was maybe a rich woman in her 30s or 40s, this is a rich woman in her 40s and 50s, but I dig it. I'm down with it. I find it to be utterly gorgeous. Even my 13-year-olds, I sprayed it on her hand along with Casimir by Chopard, because I had kind of like, I was playing with both of them. She's like, what's that smell? It smells so good. I'm like, is it this or is it this? She goes, and then she pointed, she's like, it's that. The one that I had sprayed on. She's like, that's the one. Let's spray it. So the top notes are tiare flower, coconut, and bergamot. Are you noticing a trend here? They all tend to have coconut, bergamot, and a lot of them have tiare flower. Middle notes are jasmine, ylang ylang, and orange blossom. I think what gives it a little bit of that indolic sort of vibe is the ylang, because I've noticed in many perfumes, ylang is one of those notes that if it's not done right, it can make me not like the whole perfume. It can make it smell a little bit too, I don't want to say fecal because it doesn't smell like poo. It's just this weird, too natural of a smell, right? The orange blossom here is very hidden. Like, I know orange blossom because it's in Love Don't Be Shy. It's in like Melody d'Orientica. It's in a lot of perfumes that I have, and orange blossom can be very sour, sweet, very bright. It's very, very subdued here. I wouldn't have even noticed that orange blossom was in here if I hadn't just read it. Base notes are vanilla and musk. Sorry, I forgot to finish it. So tiare flower, coconut, bergamot, jasmine, ylang, orange blossom, vanilla, and musk. So there's nothing heavy here. There's no amberwood, there's no ambergris, there's no, oud, there's no cedar, there's no sandalwood. But yet this perfume has something that does ground it. It does make it smell kind of like an intense perfume, an intense summer vibe. Doesn't smell too suntan lotion-y, but we have the jasmine and that musk that is like, has nothing to do with summer. But then we have the tiare flower and the coconut and the ylang that has a lot to do with summer. And then you got that vanilla that kind of marries those two things. You got that sweet vanilla, and then you have all these other formal, elegant, mature, womanly, floral perfume vibes. And then you have like the summery vibes, and you just bring them together and sprinkle in a little sweetness in there. That's what this is. So it's not too suntan lotion-y, too beachy, summery, juvenile, young girl, immature. It's a sophisticated, clean, mature summer scent. Again, if you're having dinner on the beach, if you're having crab legs and surf and turf, like a steak, you're at a restaurant, you're walking on the moonlit, boardwalk or something to that effect. This is an elegant, formal, You can even wear this in the daytime too, like on a warm summer beachy day, but this is not like your Hawaiian tropic, you know, I'm gonna go in the pool. This is a nice, you're dressed nice and you're wearing something, you know, summery, where your bronzed shoulders are showing, like you were sun-kissed, you were bathing in the sun that day, and now you're going out for an evening, right? That's what this is. This is so freaking nice. Like, it's elegant. But again, the price tag on this, I wouldn't say it's a safe blind buy either. So I would recommend somehow sampling it. Let me see, where are these listed? Let's see what the price is for. I don't even remember what I paid for this, to be honest with you. If I got it on Joma Shop, maybe Joma Shop. Yeah, there's no way I paid that for it. Oh my God. I have to find where I got this and what I paid for it, because there's no way that I would have paid this for it. There's a Guerlain Terracotta Le Perfume limited edition, $189. Another Le Perfume, $241. I did not pay that much for this, guys. I don't think I paid not even $100 for this. I must have paid maybe like $80, something to that effect, but definitely not over $100. I have not worn it out. This is just me testing and playing with it and wearing it, but I'm gonna wear it out one of these nights now that we're in summer. It's definitely a mature fragrance, so I don't want to scare people off, but try it before you buy it, because you may not like it, but I like it a lot. I don't want to say that I love it, because there's so many perfumes that I love, but this is just something that I'm happy to have in my collection. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because it's a good long. But anyway, that's it for today's video, guys. I really hope you liked it. Please give me a little thumbs up. And if you're a frequent flyer and you're here often and you're watching videos, something like 41% of the viewers that watch my channel, is it 41% or 68%? I forget which one was which. I think it's the 68% are not subscribed. 41% of the people that watch regularly are subscribed. So like, guys, it's free. It doesn't cost anything. Just you know, hit the subscribe button for me, and you know, help me out here. And I appreciate you guys for being here. Let me know in the comments, what is your favorite summery sort of like scent that you like? Do you like the suntan lotion vibe? Do you not care for it at all? Is it something that to you smells like, hey, if I'm gonna smell like suntan lotion, I may as well just buy a cheap bottle of suntan lotion. You know, what do you think about that whole idea, you know? And let me know, what's your favorite summery lotion scented, or just summer scented in general perfume that you like to wear. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.